Hello there. I'm just getting started, a little bit organized. I was doing some stuff earlier, but I didn't start without you folks. And what I'm doing is I'm going to reassemble the PA17-8 motor that we see right here. As noted before in the previous video, this motor has this little place here, this little hole here on the bottom, below that bottom bearing, and that little plastic device goes in there. And so I've got this plastic device, and this is water and dishwashing liquid right there. So in we go there, and then we're going to take that cover, brush cover, and we're going to take that can go in the water. Those are all Bakelite, so they don't have to be blown dry or with a heat gun or a hair dryer or anything like that. So I'm going to let that sit in there for a minute. What I have been doing with this, over here I have some rubbing alcohol in there. And what I had done was I had placed this in the rubbing alcohol earlier when I was getting set up for the video. And so all I have to do now is I have to remove this screw, and it's a really small set screw. Do it in a place that's kind of advantageous for you. And because I've got a fiber shop towel, if this screw falls, it's not going to bounce. It may roll, but it's sticking to my screwdriver, which is even better. So I'm just going to get the oil, make a mess with the oil there, and then see if I can put that right back in there, like that. So I've threaded that pretty completely. So those threads, everybody got some oil there. It's had a little bit of oil on the inside already, and that just got a little bit of oil. So eventually the outside will get a little bit of oil, but not quite right now. I'm good with that. I'm still letting those guys soak. That's the fiber. It doesn't get any treatments at all, really. Okay, I got some more water to clean that Bakelite casing with. I'm just going to get in here and do a little bit of a scrub. Rub it up, scrub on the... It's nice to get these things done, right? So for that, what I'm going to do is I'll get the shop cloth, get some of the water off. Anyway, that's clean enough. That's good enough for my liking. I'm really curious about this little thing in here, a little plastic, whatchamacallit, that goes right there. So where's my needle nosers? These here. So we'll get that out of there. While I'm holding this, we can see that right there is flat. Equally on the other opposite side, it's flat. And when you look in here, right down there, you can see that it's flat there. I think that's the only place that it's flat, right there on the inside. Or no, maybe, no. There's a flat ledge there and a flat ledge there. So it's got one on both sides. Where's my, I need some more water and soap here, just while we're getting in there. See, that's coming out clean, so that's what we want, right? Of course. So this is really great because it's soap and water and very easy to clean and do. So that is good. So now I have to establish how I'm going to... I know that this shows through the bottom of the Bakelite casing. So that's what I'm going to start to rebuild right now, is put this in and then get the bottom bearing and the bottom bearing spring in and give it a little bit of oil, because that's what that cut in the bearing is for. So it has to go like that. But it's not flat yet. It's not there. It's feeling like it's seated now. Yes, it is seated, and we'll see it right there. And that's how it looked when I took it out originally. Cool. There is the bearing, the bottom bearing, and there's the cut for oil or grease. So we'll put that there like that, and then I'll get the spring. So we're good on the spring. And now we look down and we see that the places where we have to seat the spring is down there. And there's one there, and it's open on this side. So the spring has to go under there on that side. And then it's on the opposite side on this side. The open one is there, and that's opposite to what it was over there. I'm just going to put it down in there for a second, just on the one, to line it up. So that's what I did. I've got the one kind of hanging out where it needs to be, but it's not in yet. And if I can keep that one pressed down with my finger right close to there, and then take the needle nosers. So I got the one down on my finger. Now I'm going to really stabilize, and I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay. And what I'm trying to do is anchor the one slightly and then see if I can get that one shoved down. So in the end, to accomplish the task, it's best if you have a stable base for the bottom of the Bakelite casing. And so I jerry-rigged one out of an old tissue box, and I tried for 20 minutes, half an hour without the little flat platform. And I've done that before where I'm having difficulty getting that bottom bearing spring in. And the first time I tried it, once I put it on the platform, then I didn't have to balance that anymore. And you know, when you've only got two hands and you got to use them both to do that, then you don't have the third hand to balance. And so that's the problem with that, is that you need three hands. You have to have it very stable, and then it's simple. I hate to use the word easy, but once it's stable, it's easy. Anyway, I'm going to get on with putting the rest of the motor together now that we've got that most important part accomplished. Hope you're enjoying this. Thanks for being here. In the next video, I'll be continuing the work on the 500A, 500J, continuing the clean. I'd like to get the vertical upright cleaned in that, since I have everything vacant over there. It's a good time to get that started. So the next move here is I would like to get my plastic cover protector here, and that goes on. This is where it goes in here. So that's in place, in position. So now I can insert this through the bushing up there, and as I get into position there, I've got that plastic cover in there stabilizing it. And now it's time for the washer. And the washer's on, and here is the flat spot on the worm gear, and there is the screw. So we know, slowly snug it. So there's still but it can't rotate now. So it's just enough on the flat spot, right? And there I've snugged it up. Okay, what I want to do is tighten that a little more. So I wanted to get a better position on it, stabilize it a bit, and then get that screwdriver in there best that I can. There, I can't get that any tighter, so I'm comfortable with that. I'm happy with that. So now we've got that done, and we move forward with getting the brushes and springs and the tubes into the Bakelite casing and getting their contacts in place. I want to look at these one more time. I think they're pretty good. I was using 1500 grit sandpaper on the commutator, and I want to come in a little closer on the commutator, and you can get a look at it there. So it came out pretty clean, and I enjoyed that I didn't use the drill to rotate the spindle, to rotate the shaft, the commutator. I'm glad that I did it by hand. I can hear the rotation. It doesn't sound, it's going smoothly, like it's rotating, and it's not anchored because it, you know, the bottom end isn't hooked up. But I'm comfortable with this. I like this. I'm going to put the shim right in there like that. Can I get it in? It doesn't seem to have really. Can I do that? Pull the thing out a bit and now push it in. What does that do? Well, I think what I'm going to do is start over again. And I really want to look at that plastic sleeve that went in there. Let's see if I have enough. I do. Sweet. Now I can take out this. Oh, there's my washer. I forgot about the washer. I almost lost it. And I had it on like that. In that aspect. That's where the flat part was. And I'm mentioning that in relation to this because I want to see if this is the same on both ways, and it looks like it is. I was wondering if there was an indicator as to this being needed to, be put on a certain aspect or orientation, but I don't think there is. So that's the aspect that I want to base it on. And that means that it's being installed correctly. So I should be able to put that shim in there. So let's try this shim deal. Like it looks like it should fit. Let me do that. There. That seems like success. You know what, I may be able to get it in further. So there's the plastic by my thumb, left side, my left thumb there. So I move this down closer to that end of the device, and then as I slide it in to have it go flush, something was creaking. But you know what, it's gone in. That spacer is in there real good actually. So I'm pleased with that. I hope you guys saw a lot of that. Even on a good day it can be difficult at times. So there's the terminals for up top there. And there's the terminals. Now before I do that, I want to put the washer on, don't I? I do. And then when I get the washer on, I get that on, and I get to have at it again. There, and I got some squeeze on there. So I'm comfortable with that. And it is correct. So now we have our few remaining parts. And there they all are. So now I have to get these two and these two into here. And that goes like that. And we can see that that insulator will line up. See it in there just right. It goes in there flush just right when its time comes, which is coming soon. And so that's the way it's going to go on. And these terminals, they go up like that. So I'm not ready to go in there yet because I still got to get those other terminals for the brushes through. What I'm going to try now is this. I don't want these terminals to come out while I fiddle about down here. So it's one of those third hand deals, like we just don't have enough hands sometimes, So I'm going to see if I can get this, and it may not work. Oh, I don't think it's going to work. You know what, it might. So that's enough of a grab, I think, to keep those little rascals in there if I'm gentle. So now what I want to do is I want to get my little mini pliers or forceps or whatever you call them. And I want to get this one down here. So is it through? Can I get it with my fingers? I think I'll be able to. Yes. So that's that one. So I'll just get that one started on the edge there, but not closing anything. Still realizing that I have to go in, and we'll go again. And I'll see what I can see. Okay, so there's one right there. And that's the one we had in before. But now the other one has come through voluntarily. So now we're ready to remove this pink clothespin, get this other terminal in. Those have legs on them, so they only fit in one way. So that's correct. Now we get that wonderful insulator, and it fits in there right flush like that, right? See that right there? I know. What a masterpiece, right? What fell out? The insulator. That's okay, we can get it back in. We'll put it in, and there, it's in. Is it flush and level? Let me get it out again. I'm looking to see if it's straight you know, is square or chamfered. And one side, no, it's square, so it doesn't matter. There, it's in. I think we're safe there. So that one's in there. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a thread on there. And now holding that insulator part, especially by the, that's where you want to hold it together right there. And I've got that, so now I can try and see if I can get a grab with that. And I am, because I can see the screw on the screwdriver going in. So that's just snug there. And now I want to do the same with the other one there. I'm glad that we took the time. Let me hold that nut now and get that safely connected there. Then we can get the tubes, springs, and brushes in. So that's snug there. A bit, but nothing. Okay, so now we be wanting, I'm gonna have to readjust that. That's not right. Can I do it from here? Just with a, there. You know what? It just has to be able to go on the terminal. So, and there's an insulator, and I'm confident in that. Okay. We're gonna make sure when we put these on that the curve matches our buddy here, the commutator. This lead needs to go like that. Well, so much for that. That's the first one I've ever had. But anyway, I'm not going to be running this or plugging it in. I'm going to put it in position like that. And I know that the brush has to go like that. And that has to be visible. That slot has to be visible. It has to be like that and like that. So the brush and the slot are correct. And you know what? Just for a second, I'm going to forget about the broken one. That's how it should look. I don't know if you can see that. That's how it should look. So that's there, and now I get the tube with the brush oriented correctly and the slot oriented correctly. It slipped out. But now it's back in, and now the brush and the spring, they are correct. So that's in the right way, and now I'm putting the tube in. I may have to crimp this tube. It may be too wide or stretched or something. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give it a squeeze like that. I think that'll be, that restored it to its regular, what it's supposed to be. We'll see if the brush fits in. The spring's going in, so far so good. And it's got to be oriented to, so that's fine. And what I'm going to do is put the spring and brush in first. I could probably do it with the tube. You know what, I should try it with the tube since I adjusted the tube just to make the point. So I need to stretch that a bit, spread that a bit. I have just the right little screwdriver to do that with. Okay, so there. So there it goes like that, and this goes like that. And it seems like it is seating, but this tab up here is a little high, I think. There. That's not good. That is not the way I like that to be. Why is that? If I pull it towards me, well, it works. If I pull it towards me, it comes out, and it's seated in there correctly. I'm going to make sure that, I don't really like to adjust stuff unless I have to, because if it was working before, let me try if the cap will be okay there with that sitting like that. And it will. So we'll put the screw in. There, that's snugged up. That is correct. Beautiful. Cool. Now what I'm going to do, you guys and gals, when I say guys, I mean gals too. I'm actually a conductor, okay? So this is what I did. If I'm going to jump on this right away, like this is going to be, I'm pretty sure, I know I can get solder. I have my solder here and I think I know where my soldering iron is. Nonetheless, I think I'm going to get this done today. But if I wasn't, this is how I'd store it. I'm going to store it like this anyway, and this is what I did. The machine is named Ruth, so I put on there Ruth solder terminal. Here's the terminal underneath the painter's tape. I just put it on there like that, and that's safe now. I'm not going to put it in the machine because it's labeled, and that's just part of the organizational stuff that we have to do. Anyway, the motor is back together, and I'm going to finish up with that and get it back in that 401. And like I probably mentioned a little earlier, a couple of times, I'm going to get back to the 500J, which is identical to a 500A. The only difference is that the 500A was made in Anderson, South Carolina, and the 500J was made in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, Quebec, Canada. I want to thank you for watching all the way through. I would like to encourage you to please help the channel and me and the machines by subscribing. Thank you very much. And I hope this was helpful to you and that you enjoyed it. And the credo here is to learn and have fun. So I want you to have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you soon because I'm public posting every day or two now. Adios, amigos.